This is Countdown to Economic Collapse, January 30th, 2011. I'm David John Sponheim, and I'm running for president in 2012. Our economy is in dire straits. There are certain people within our nation that are grabbing a tremendous amount of money. Some people characterize it as a mad rush to the end. The big banks, specifically Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, AIG, these are the groups that have grabbed a tremendous amount of money. In fact, the CEO of Goldman Sachs is going to give himself a pay raise, 233% higher than last year. Yet they recorded a $38 billion loss last quarter. We've got some serious greed going on here, folks. And one of the ways that we're going to correct that in the future is by getting accountability in Washington. The SEC should have been fired. They should have been fired for not determining that people like Bernard Madoff were making off with $70 billion, way ahead of the problem. The Financial Crisis Inquiry Commission cost $10 million for a 2-year study, producing 570 plus pages of documents that detail one important message, that the crisis was avoidable. The problem was, none of them can agree on how it was avoidable. Was it the credit bubble? Was it the mortgage deregulation? What really did happen? They don't know. So your tax dollar is going into a void, a black hole, again. The odd thing is, the Dodd-Frank bill was passed before the report from the FCIC came in detailing why we had a crisis. So Dodd-Frank bill is actually generating more of a crisis. In fact, it will probably cost credit card companies over $15 billion, and guess who's going to pay for that? You, the consumer. So all of that in total brings us to a point in which we have to ask ourselves, are we running with a full deck, or are we running half empty with people that don't know what they're doing, managing the financial crisis? Ben Bernanke wants people to invest in money. He wants to print up money, $600 billion. The problem is, we're not actually getting that money to the people that need it, you and I. Why is it we could give $700 billion in the big bank bailout to all kinds of unscrupulous, greedy people, yet we can't even give the American people $1,000 apiece? That would cost roughly $200 billion. And with that money, we could probably get ahead. We could all start small businesses. We could begin paying back our personal debts, and we can start on the road to recovery. But unfortunately, Ben Bernanke isn't like all of us. He's not an average person. In fact, Wall Street is using this opportunity to steal money from the American taxpayer. That's right. Any way they can, they get low interest loans, as low as a zero interest, and then they turn it around and invest in the stock market. That's why the stock market's doing well. But it's also sitting there like it's in the doldrums. It's not moving. It's not going up or down. And that's scary. That's like the calm before the storm. And what we're experiencing right now over in Egypt, with the turmoil, that could lead to a spike in energy prices. The Suez Canal could be in jeopardy. Saudi Arabia could be the next country to engage in rioting. We don't know. So all of this coming together to form yet another crisis in America's financial sector. We are now approaching that time. The IMF has warned our nation that if we don't start getting our deficit under control, and that means the spending that Obama is engaged in. Remember, he was $1.5 trillion over budget for the past 2 years, each year over budget. If we don't start getting that under control, the IMF said that they're going to downgrade our municipal bonds, our treasury bonds, everything will be downgraded. We've got the next crisis coming, folks. It's serious. And if you think it isn't, you just have to ask yourself, what's happening in Egypt is just a sampling of what could happen in America if there was a fuel shortage. I urge you, vote third party. Consider going to americasthirdparty.com, look at our platform, and begin realizing that the key to getting sound, intelligent fiscal policies forward is to get rid of the corruption and deadweight in Congress, and to start realizing that the future of our nation depends on your ability to think out of the box, our ability to start fabricating new manufacturing, new exporting, and jobs for Americans. 14 million jobs are needed, and Obama's got no clue as to how he's going to build those. I do. I'm David John Sponheim, and I'm running for president in 2012.
Check us out at americasthirdparty.com.